Somebody says they're going to destroy you at Mario Kart. Is that different than somebody saying they're going to destroy you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So if I'm going to destroy you in a debate, is that different than saying I'm going to destroy you?
It depends what the person meant by "I'm going to destroy you."
So this is my first time watching this, like, most of this debate. I only caught a little bit of it the other day. So I don't know exactly know what prompted it. What was it? This guy made a hit video on Andrew, and so they're debating like what was true in the video or not. That's the impression that I got. So this should be a doozy. I'm gonna just gonna skip ahead here.
Go direction, Bob, or
I don't want to have to resort to a timer. I think that's stupid.
Good. Then
But
let's not do that.
I prepared a bunch of reasons for my interpretation. And I just can't get them out without Andrew interrupting or pivoting.
all right, should we take it at one reason at a time then, and then you can state the reason in its entirety. Andrew can rebuke the reason.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, okay. So the whole the plot of land thing becoming a lord, that's not a scam? Okay. I gave KFC black fatigue last night. That was funny, by the way, on your stream.
Let's go first one.
So I want to emphasize again without interruption. Andrew had said an interpretation is another thing. That's step 2. But the actual statement to the question, have you ever treated someone like shit before, was, quote, no, I never made a woman sleep on the floor like a dog. That's the statement. Now, hold on.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought that you were giving, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Now, if you want to build into that statement that the no was objecting to like the whole premise of her question, sure, you could build that in, but you can't deny that you didn't make that explicit. And if you didn't make that explicit, then it's going to appear as though you're not answering. And if it appears as though you're not answering because you didn't make what you were doing explicit, well, then obviously I'm going to interpret you in a way. I have an option as the viewer. I was analyzing what you did. I'm like, okay, I have 2 options here. Option 1, Andrew didn't answer the question and he committed a red herring and he didn't make explicit that he was citing the irrelevance of the question that this woman asked, or he answered the question. So yeah, I assume the more charitable interpretation there that you answered.
Oh, I see. So look, can I respond now, Bob?
Yes, but I want you to repeat my reasoning for my interpretation back to me to make.
He's not a Bob. He has to be called Bobby. He can't look this young and be called Bob. He's Bobby.
Sure, on
because you heard the word no. And when you heard the word no, you figured that I must be responding directly to this question as a no statement. And further, right, after I answer this as no statement, this is actually Bob being very charitable, because otherwise it would look like I was pivoting. And Andrew wouldn't want to look like he was pivoting, right?
So my motivation for my interpretation was a dichotomy, red herring or answer. I chose the interpretation you were answering.
Well, it's not a red herring, Bob. Well, first of all, it's not a red herring. So why would you choose that as an option?
That's in dispute. But Simon,
yes, it's in dispute. Why is it that I should assume you assume this was a red herring when even if I granted this, it wouldn't have been a red herring, Bob? That makes no sense. That's the contradiction, Bob. If you say, I assume this was a red herring thing, that's not a red herring, even if I grant to you that this was your interpretation, then why would I think that you're telling the truth, Bob? Because it wouldn't have been a red herring. So are you just wrong, Bob? Are you just wrong here?
Exactly my point. Whether it's a red herring or not is irrelevant because it appeared as though it was one. So even if I'm wrong that it's
how did it appear as a red herring?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was a pivot and it wasn't an answer.
Pivot's not a red herring.
It appeared as though it was one. And
no. What makes it one, Bob?
Hold on, no. You're making the claim I lied.
Yeah.
In order for you to justify that, you have to show that I had bad intentions as opposed to a misunderstanding. Now, if you want to switch your argument that I didn't lie, but I mistook you for committing a red herring when you didn't.
No, Bob, you clearly lied.
If you think I lied, but you're going to concede that it appeared as though you committed a red herring, those 2 beliefs are in tension with one another.
Bob, when did I say it appeared as though I committed a red herring? You haven't demonstrated how it would be, even if I conceded even if I conceded to a pivot, how that would have been a red herring, Bob. How?
It appeared as though it was.
Can you demonstrate how it appeared to be?
Do you not agree that if someone pivots, it will appear as though they're not they're
No.
engaging in a red herring.
Well, it depends on the nature of the pivot. They pivot the conversation back to itself. That doesn't seem very red herring like to me. That seems like the opposite of a red herring. In fact,
Right. It does
that would be
depend
like
on the
that would be
nature-
like a that would be like a green herring. We'll call that
It does-
a green herring instead
It
of a red
does.
herring.
I agree. You said
You got called homophobic because of the lisp. That's funny.
I asked, will a pivot appear as a red herring? And you said it depends on the nature of the conversation.
Mhm.
I agree. And I think the very nature of the conversation lends more support to my interpretation, for
Oh,
sure.
Then why would I give the qualifiers? For instance, why wouldn't
already
I
told
say?
you.
Why wouldn't
You
I say
gave the
something?
qualifier for
Bob,
emphasis of the point.
Why wouldn't I say something like, "No, I don't do that," instead of no and no, and then the qualifiers?
People
Why,
tend to
Bob?
qualify their statements. What's the mystery?
Yeah, they tend to qualify their statements so there's no misinterpretation. Like no, I'm not saying that I've never treated a woman poorly. I'm saying I've never done any of these horrible things. Now we have the context, right? You, Bob, I assume, right? Know the distinction. Let me ask you this. Did you watch that clip in its entirety?
Yes.
Did you watch that episode in its entirety?
Probably
No.
not. But I saw there was a 13-minute video where
It
you're
was
interacting.
it was a 13-minute video.
Yeah.
Okay. So you thought you had the entirety of the context based on the 13-minute video.
The entirety of the context relevant to the answer. Yes, of course.
And you cut it right at the no.
Correct.
Now, Bob, was the intentionality of you cutting it at the no? Was the intentionality there?
He's seething. Like, he looks so pissed off. But it's true. Like, we all know that he was trying to be bad faith with that cut. That's why he just put no to make it seem like Andrew was saying something totally different. So now that Andrew's breaking it down and confronting him and holding his feet to the fire here, it's funny just seeing him like seethe.
From you to demonstrate to the audience that I was saying, no, I never do this thing, and then go on and demonstrate all the times I do this thing.
I could answer that, but I don't want to move on for my reason you didn't address.
Well, wait a second, Bob. What did I not address?
The reason I had for my interpretation. It appeared like a red herring. Under the assumption you weren't committing one, my interpretation was plausible.
What? Okay, Bob, I'll grant it. I'll grant it's plausible. Is it more plausible from the hang on, Bob, from the perspective of the viewer, that since you're trying to make it look like I said no, I don't do thing, then you go on to demonstrate all the times you think I do thing, that you cut it at the no specifically, so that it appeared that I was lying, that I don't do this thing, and then here's all the times that I do it.
Too little information is provided for me to make a determination.
Did you cut it at the no to make me look bad, Bob? To make it look like I was a liar?
No.
Now, do you think from the perspective of the viewer, after they see the actual context that I just showed versus the actual cut at the no that you put, that they're going to believe that, Bob?
Depends on the viewer, and then it will depend on how closely they pay attention to my justification for my interpretation.
Okay. Well, while you can't prove 100%
Not asking
that a person is lying, right? He can't prove it. I think that I demonstrated here well that if we were to take the powerful motivation that both of us have, your motivation being, well, this appeared as being a pivot and I was just being charitable, because otherwise it's kind of like a red herring that's not a red herring. Or you take my interpretation, which is you cut it at the no because you want to make me look bad in a hit piece video. Which one do you think is going to sound more plausible to the viewer, Bob?
I wouldn't make a
Can't answer.
judgment. I'd be agnostic.
Oh, of course, you'd be agnostic.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Bob, I think you lied, and I think you demonstrated it pretty well. While I can't 100% extract your motivation, I think that your reasoning of, I was just trying to be really charitable to you, Andrew, even though I was clearly not being charitable fucking at all. And this was actually a red herring that I can't demonstrate was a red herring, even if you grant that it was a pivot. That seems pretty weak, Bob. Seems like
Okay.
you're just making a hit piece here, and you cut it at the no because you wanted to make it look like I'm mean to women and say I'm not mean to women. That's what it looks like to me.
So what's the argument I lied? What's the motivation?
Oh, the motivation is you're making a hit piece video. You wanted views. You wanted to capture my attention. And so you cutting it at the no then is expressing to the viewer that made a claim that I'm not mean to women. And here's all the examples of me being mean to a woman. That's powerful motivation, Bob. Very, very powerful motivation to lie.
Okay. So you're claiming I lied, and you're
Mhm.
motivating that claim by citing the fact that I'm making a hit piece.
Not just that you're making a hit piece, but that you selectively cut this at certain spots, specifically when if the viewer had the context, they would likely change their opinion on what it is that I was saying. And because you cut that context out, knowing that it would likely change the opinion of the viewer, you're lying by omission.
But that's circular reasoning. You're begging the question because I'm asking for motivation.
I
to
gave you the
support-
motivation.
I'm asking for motivation to support your claim that I'm lying.
Well, let's
first one I
start.
gi-
Okay,
first-
well, then go
The
ahead.
first motivation you gave was not question begging. You said I'm making a hit piece. I think that's very poor motivation, but sideline that. The second motivation.
How is that
you
poor
gave-
motivation, Bob?
Sideline that. The second thing you said.
What?
The second, we'll get to that in a second. Let
Okay.
me finish. The
Okay.
second thing you said, which was question begging, was the motivation for you lying was that,
Mhm.
and then you effectively say that you were lying. You said
No. No, this
That's
is
what you
incorrect. You got it completely backwards,
I'll
Bob.
repeat it back to you. What
Here,
roughly
we'll
what you
do
said.
we'll
You
do
had
step
said,
one.
my-
We'll do step
you
one.
had
I'll just
said-
give it to you. I'll give it to you. Step one. Bob makes a hit piece video. Step two. Bob wants people to watch the hit piece video. Because otherwise, why the fuck would Bob make the hit piece video? That makes no sense, right?
Okay, hold on. No. You cut me off here. I wanted to get this point across.
Okay, get
The
the point
second
across, Bob.
motivation you gave for why I was lying was that I edited the clip knowingly because I didn't want the viewer to form an opinion.
No, it's because
that's
you
what
wanted
you
him to
had
form.
said.
You wanted him to form a bad opinion. Bob.
Yeah.
You
Right,
wanted to
right.
form an opinion that was
Right.
biased against me, Bob.
But that's the very assertion that I want you to justify. And you're citing that as the motivation when I asked
Yeah.
for one. That's question begging.
Well, wait a second. It's not question begging. So let's go through this. Okay. Step one. Bob, do you agree that this was designed to be a hit piece?
What does that mean?
It means it wasn't
What does that
designed
mean?
to highlight.
Damn, he's really knocking those Celsiuses back. Holy crap. You guys weren't kidding about the amount of freaking Celsius he was drinking.
That Andrew Wilson is great. It was designed to highlight that Andrew Wilson is a hypocrite and a liar.
Holy cow. A Celsius back to back with the Red Bull? Holy shit. Dude. The hell? Does this kid not sleep? Is that why he has to drink all these Celsiuses and energy drinks just to stay up? Holy fuck.
It was designed. No, it was my intention.
No? So then how come your tweet, Bob, said this video is going to destroy Andrew Wilson? Now, Bob, do you usually put out tweets that you made a video that's going to destroy someone because you're talking them up? Is that how people get destroyed, by other people talking them up, Bob? Or do they get destroyed by, other mechanisms?
Wait, I want to be very clear. I'm not
Uh-huh.
making the claim that the video is not a hit piece. I think it is a hit piece. But I am
Okay,
making-
so then claim one, video's a hit piece.
Wait, hold on. But I am making the claim that my intention was not to make a hit piece. That's different. My
Got it.
intention was
But the video was a hit piece.
You're right.
Bobby was hoping to induce like a heart attack with himself so he could have an out. That's funny. That would be funny if that's what he was doing. He's like, okay, well, if I start losing, I'm just gonna hopefully drink so much fucking caffeine and Red Bulls and Celsiuses and energy drinks that hopefully I just have a heart attack right then and there. All right, come on, heart, just bail me out, please.
But my
Okay,
intention.
so
You're
step
citing my
one.
intentions.
Nope,
You're
not. I'm
citing
just
my
saying Bob made a hit piece. That's one. right?
No, you were no. Initially, you had cited my intentions, so I want to get that out there. I want people to know my intentions. I want people to know that my intentions. That's fair. You're assuming negative things about my intentions. It's fair that I get it out there. My intention was to vent my frustration at you for committing logical fallacies and making logical mistakes. That pissed me off. That was my motivation. I wanted to get back at you for doing that. Is that clear?
So your motivations were you wanted to get back at me for a thing.
Yes.
So revenge.
I don't know if that's revenge. I feel like for revenge,
Well,
you have to do something
let's
to me.
Let's define revenge.
Sure. Let's just let's.
Well,
let's
hang on.
do
How do you
revenge.
get back at somebody unless
Yeah.
they do something to you?
That's the definition of revenge.
Fine, fair enough. Revenge. I'll go.
Yeah.
with
So
that.
you wanted to get revenge, right, Bob? So
Sure.
Bob wants revenge. Bob makes a hit piece video. Is that established?
Sure, but my intention
Okay.
was not a hit piece.
I'm
It
not
was
talking about
not a hit.
intentions yet, Bob. I'm just asking about the order of events.
Wait, are we on the same page? I just want to make you could proceed. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Bob wants revenge.
Bob wants revenge. People who take upper ad meds abuse caffeine because it creates a calming effect in combo with the drugs. That's crazy. I mean, like, why are all these lefties are all like drugs? Like, why are they all on Adderall and all this shit? Like medication. Like, guys. And you wonder why, like, we're trying to shift the culture back over. Like, you guys just need Jesus. You guys don't need freaking all these meds. Get off the meds. Go outside. Go to the gym.
Bob makes hit piece
Meet a nice lady. Like, you don't need to be on these meds, guys. Why you guys are all on meds?
video. Are we
Right.
clear on that so far?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So after Bob wants revenge and Bob makes hit piece video, right? When Bob gets to put portion of hit piece video that makes person look bad because Bob wants revenge, how is it not a powerful motivator, Bob, to then go ahead and edit out critical context that may change a viewer's mind?
Holy crap, dude.
Because motive is not
That well,
sufficient.
revenge is powerful motive, Bob.
Motive is horrible. Motive and motive alone is horrible grounds to charge someone with a crime.
I'm not charging you with a
Everyone-
crime, Bob.
Everyone has motive to steal money, right? But I can't drag you into court and say, well,
No, not everybody has.
$1,000
No,
went
no,
missing
Bob,
from
Bob,
my
that's
door,
wrong. Not
and
everybody has
Andrew
motive to
Wilson
steal money, Bob.
has motive to take my $1,000. So is Andrew Wilson.
Everybody
You know
doesn't
that
have
it's
motive to steal, Bob. That's just you just made
Huh?
it up. You just made it up. Not everybody has motive to do that. Just made up nonsense.
The vast majority. Would you agree? The vast majority of people have motive to steal.
No,
No.
no. The vast majority of people probably have more motive not to steal.
By motive, I don't mean what they want to do. By motive, I mean there's some benefit. Okay, you know what? Get rid of steal. I think we can. That's just neither here nor there. We can both agree there are many crimes that most people are going to have the motive to commit. Would you agree with that?
Well, okay. So let's be hyper specific then. What do we mean by motivation?
Whatever you meant when you said that I had motivation.
A want to do something.
Sure.
Okay, then no.
What's great is how calm Andrew is, because like Andrew knows this is easy. He knows that this Bob kid is full of shit, and this is kind of just like a very stern talking to from a father, WR332, thank you very much for being a member for 2 months. Bob is sweating so much he can't replace the caffeine fast enough to bullshit his way out of the hot seat. Intent trumps accountability for actions. Yeah, I know, right? Thank you very much for being a member, WR332. This debate reminds me of when I have to tell my kids to pick up her toys. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of too.
So you don't think there's one crime that the
And you got to like walk them through it, like and explain to them why what they did was wrong.
majority of people have motive to commit?
That's
absurd.
I can't think of one. What would one be? I'm willing to concede maybe, but what?
Vast majority of people have motive to steal. I would cite that. Again.
No.
I think that's obvious.
No. That's beyond. No, that's be obvious the other way. Want to do. I don't think most people want to steal. I think that's absurd.
No, most people don't want to steal. By the way, Dusty, sorry. By the way, Dusty, if you're listening, Marte has a new prompt. Dusty, let's debate. Corn in America should be abolished. You can't pick a prompt, so I will. I think that would be a good debate.
That's the most absurd claim you've made tonight, in fact, Bob.
By want, I don't mean they're going to.
No. It's but by what I mean, remember? You said, what do you mean by motive? Want to. You said, okay, we'll concede that that's what we're going to use for the definition of motivation. So then if you then say, by my definition of want to, they want to steal, then yeah, reject that wholeheartedly. They don't want to steal, Bob. I think that's silly.
You don't think there's a single crime that the vast majority of people want to commit?
Nothing comes to mind. I'm willing to be corrected here. If you can name one.
Okay. Well, then I'll just reverse my claim. The vast, if you're not conceding that there's even one crime that the vast majority of people would want to commit, and you see the opposite true with respect to stealing.
Just
then
with
you're gonna
respect
have
to stealing.
What?
Just with respect to stealing, though.
Okay. Well, then, on pain of contradiction, you're gonna have to affirm the following claim I'm gonna make on, and if you avoid doing that, there's a contradiction. So, if with respect to stealing, that you said the vast majority of people are motivating the opposite way,
Yeah.
then we can make a principle. Fine. So, if you don't think the vast majority of people, there's at least one crime that the vast majority of people would want to commit.
Why
then
can we
can
make
say
a
there's at least-
principle?
What?
Why can we make a principle here?
You were saying that doesn't seem plausible to you that the vast majority of people would want to commit a
Yeah,
crime.
that wouldn't mean it's a principle. How would that make something a principle?
Okay, there's a defeasible presumption in favor of that assumption, right?
That's not a principle, Bob.
All right, it's a defeasible presumption.
So not a principle.
Right. I misspoke. Defeasible
Okay.
presumption.
I know you want me to be charitable, Bob, like you were to me in the video, but okay, sure. Let's go with that. Yes,
Okay.
there's an assumption that I have, and it is an assumption that there's more of a motivation for people probably not to steal than to steal. Probably.
Would you say the majority of people have a motivation to do something that's good, like give charity?
No.
Could you give me, do you think there's one good thing that the vast majority of people have motivation to do?
That they want to do?
Yeah.
A good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like love, probably. Most people want love, they want to be loved.
In action.
And
In action.
yeah, and to love. I think most people want to love.
That's a feeling. Could you give me an action?
Well, love manifests itself through actions.
Right.
What's that?
I want an action, not something that could manifest in an action.
Okay, okay, hugs. I think most people want a hug, and most people like to give people that they love hugs.
So do you
I think Bob needs a hug right about now. I think Bobby needs a hug.
think it's a good argument to say that Andrew Wilson gave me a hug because the majority of people have a desire to want a hug? Is that a good argument?
No.
Why?
Well, what we're doing here, when you're ascribing this, you're making an appeal ad populum. So that would be fallacious on his face. It would
I'm
be an
doing
argument ad
exactly what
populum.
you're doing in the case.
No, hang on, I'm not. You're not, actually. So what's going on here is we're simply asking about motivation, right? So when we're talking about motivation, do you agree that we have different aspects of things that motivate people to do different things?
Obviously.
Yeah. Do you think that revenge is a very powerful motivator for people?
I mean, depends on how badly they want. Not inherently.
Yeah, but if they want revenge, do you think
And
that if
want
they
it bad- yeah,
want,
that's just the tautology.
yeah, so if they want revenge, do you think that that's a powerful motivator for them?
It depends how badly they want it.
Okay, I got it. But if they never wanted it, it's obviously going to be a more powerful motivator if they do want it to some degree than if they don't, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what we have established here is that if you want revenge, you have motive. And you have described that you want revenge. And since you want revenge, there's no reason for me to believe. In fact, I should not believe that you did that and cut that in the most uncharitable way possible, especially when you said, because otherwise it'd be a red herring when it wouldn't. For you to actually do this in a good light, if you want revenge, seems unreasonable to me. That seems unreasonable to me.
All your argument is doing is saying that you think I've done something because I have motive to do it. And I'm pointing out that's not good reason.
No, it's not just that.
What? You don't have motives? You don't have any motives to make a hit piece about Andrew Wilson? Like, you don't have any motives whatsoever? That's, come on, dude. You don't just, anyone that does something is motivated to do it for whatever reason. It could be any reason, but there's always a motivation there. Otherwise, you don't do it. But there's always a reason for something. It could be a good reason or a bad reason, but there's always some kind of motivation. So for this kid to try to be like, well, you're assuming I have motivation to do it. Yeah, you do have motivation to do it. And that's what we're trying to figure out what it is. In this section right here, we're trying to figure out what your motivation is. But there is a motivation. Otherwise, why would you spend time finding the clips for this video, editing the videos, then uploading it to YouTube, and then titling it, doing all this stuff, if there is absolutely zero motivation there? Doesn't make any sense.
It's not just the motive, but the clip itself. So I have evidence to back. What I'm showing is that you have motivation to do a bad thing and then
Mhm.
showing the evidence of you doing the bad thing. So it's like, no, I'm not just being like, oh, hey, he had a motive, but I have no evidence. Like, no, I got pretty good evidence here, Bob.
The evidence is in dispute. You were claiming that the full context changes your answer.
It
I
does.
don't think that's the case. So
That's nice, Bob. But the thing is that when we're talking about this, it's not just about what Bob, the guy who wants revenge, thinks, because he has a motivation. He has a great Bob, the revenge guy, has some motivation to maybe not be so honest with
So do
why
you.
he did a thing. So what we would have to do, I think, here, a fair thing to do would be for me to ask you this one question, right? And I just want to see if you're going to be honest with me or not. Okay.
Okay.
Do you believe, now that people have seen the context of what was said, heard my explanation versus your cut, and now have heard that you wanted revenge, that was your motivation to make the video, that they're going to think perhaps you were being dishonest here, Bob?
Some people are, yeah.
The most people.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you had to guess,
I
just
don't
asking
know.
for your guess.
No
Yeah,
idea.
that's what a guess is. You're not supposed to know. You're supposed to guess.
How many stars are the number of stars in the universe odd or even? Make a guess.
Even.
Right. The guess you just made has absolutely no bearing on the actual reality of the situation. So you want me to do that? You just want me to throw out something?
No, I'm asking you to guess based on the reality of the situation.
Right. And what I'm telling you is, just like in the case of the stars, I just don't have enough information to make a conclusion.
Yeah, but if you had to guess,
Why?
if you gave your best guess, it'd be like this, Bob. Here's a much more rational one, right? You don't have a tape measure, right? But I'm like, we don't have a tape measure, but I need a 6 foot board. Can you go over there and give me your best guess for 6 foot? Could you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable and rational. So I'm just
No.
asking you here, Bob. I know that we don't have the empirical data to make a determination as to how many people would change their mind after seeing this. But if you had to guess, do you think that in context, a whole lot of people, perhaps the majority of them, 51% or higher, are going to change their mind on the context here based on your revenge motivation? Now
I
that we
have
have
no idea.
context,
I have
just
no
guess.
idea.
That's what I'm asking you to guess. You have
But if
no
I'm
idea what
saying
6 foot is either, but you could guess.
Right. Those aren't analogous. Obviously.
You can guess about anything, can't you?
That's not analogous. That's always like their go-to. They just go, well, that's not analogous. Yeah, it is analogous, actually. Zero Smoke. Vic, did you know Bob here's a big-time Destiny fan? Check his page if you haven't. I believe it. I believe all of these lefties, like most of them, are big Destiny fans. He's already got the Adderall and Red Bull connection going there. So yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, and some guesses are going to be educated, like the 6
Sure.
foot
I'm just
guess.
asking you, based on all the information you have right now, to give me your best guess.
My best guess is I have no idea.
Your best guess as to whether or not this would change a person's mind, and now seeing it in context.
Right. I have no idea.
Yeah, you want to answer. Okay.
I mean, you wanted an answer to a question that I told you I don't
Look,
have.
Bob, I'm fine with leaving this portion of the debate here. We can move on to the next one. We can move on
Good
to the next
idea.
criticism.
I reckon we move on to the next criticism. Guys, we are going to be reading some questions at the end. I've also noticed that there's a lot of haters in the chat, a lot for Andrew as well, saying, he doesn't take big time debates and all of that. Maybe we might have time
Against
at the end
who?
if we wanted
Against
to get
who?
some.
Who the fuck have I not debated? Who?
Well, this is what the haters are saying. So if maybe at the end we could get some in, if you guys.
That's so weird. That's so weird whenever they say, "Oh, Andrew doesn't debate any big time debaters. He only debates OF girls or what on the whatever podcast. He just debates like kids like this." It's absolute cope. Like Andrew debates like a ton of people from all walks of life. So I don't know. That's this weird cope where it's like, well, he only debates this type of person. That's so weird. You can just go online, just look up Andrew Wilson. You'll find all sorts of debates that he's done.
Guys wanted to jump in at the end, we could do like a run the crucible type thing if we've got time. So message me on X if you guys maybe want to do that.
No,
But at
I'm
the end, we're
having
gonna
a
have some
one. I'm
questions.
having a 1v1 debate. Those fuckers can apply for a 1v1 debate just like this guy did. And you know what?
Thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. I got busted lying to chase clout, so now I'm going to mimic first offender. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously. Thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. Very much appreciated.
To Bob's defense, okay, I'm gonna make a defense of Bob in a charitable way. Okay. When I told Bob, look, I'm really busy, I will squeeze this in, okay, but you know, it's a low priority, but I will get it in. Bob was like, okay, man. He wasn't even a dick about it. He wasn't like, oh, you're a chicken shit, blah, blah, blah. He was just like, okay. So he was actually pretty understanding about that. In Bob's
Now,
defense.
We're
Now,
going to give Bob credit where credit's due.
Now, on the flip side, Bob
Yeah.
told me that he was sick, and I for another portion of this where we had it scheduled, and I didn't give him any shit either. Did I, Bob?
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. So the thing is like, I'm always pretty charitable to my haters, even though they're not very charitable to me. But I'd like to move on to the Dean and Parker aspect here.
Dean and Parker.
Go forth.
No, I really don't want to do that. I prepared.
So you didn't, okay. So just on this. Okay, well, Bob, I'll just concede here. I think I demonstrated much better than you did that you're a liar and that you were basing this on revenge. And I think that I gave a better demonstration of that. Maybe you think you did, but I'm happy to move on to the next portion of the video that I want to criticize.
Okay, so I'm happy to move on if you just let me rush through the thing I prepared. It
Go
will
ahead.
probably take 3 to 5 minutes if I'm uninterrupted.
Go ahead.
3 to 5 minutes of uninterrupted.
You're not going to
What
interrupt?
is this?
No.
What is this? Another opening statement within the freaking debate?
Okay. So the undercutting defeater I was trying to make earlier was that we have a piece of data, namely that I edited the clip here. Now, what's in dispute is the interpretation for the data, the explanation for the data that I edited the clip. Now, there are 3 categories of explanations here for why I edited the clip. But Andrew is selecting of these 3 categories and all these explanations, one specific explanation. So the 3 categories of explanation here are explanations that are uncharitable toward me, make a negative assumption about me. Second category of explanation is one that makes a negative assumption about Andrew. And third is the neutral kinds of explanations. So I'll just quickly list the kinds of explanations here for why I edited the clip. The first, Andrew's explanation, is because 1, context changes the answer. 2, I knew this. 3, not only did I know this, but I deliberately misrepresented him because these are different things, right? It could very well be that I knew that the full context changes the answer, but I didn't think it was deceitful to edit the context. Second explanation for I edited the clip. Well, I was extremely biased against Andrew, so I interpreted him to fit my narrative. Now, being extremely biased and interpreting someone to fit your narrative is not the same as and doesn't entail lying. So, right, that would be another explanation for why I did what I did. Another explanation for why I edited the clip is that I'm not biased against Andrew in particular, but I'm generally speaking uncharitable. So I interpreted him uncharitably, which is, again, uncharitable interpretation is not the same as lying, which is his claim. By uncharitable, I just mean like amongst the interpretations that I could have chosen, amongst the interpretations that are plausible, I didn't assume the best one. But not assuming something kind of somebody and even assuming something negative of somebody is not the same as lying. It doesn't make me a liar. It doesn't make me dishonest, which is Andrew's claim. Fourth explanation, that again, assume something negative about me. I'm dumb, lazy, emotional, bad at arguing, or bad at tracking. And because of that, I wasn't able to track the correct interpretation of what Andrew was saying. Now, bear in mind that Andrew, this is an internal critique of Andrew's view. He wants to claim I'm lying. But if he has really good reason, and I think he does, to think that this explanation here is the case, that I'm simply too dumb, lazy, emotional, bad at arguing, and tracking. If he has good reason to think that, then this is going to be in tension with his claim that I was deliberately doing something bad here, right? If you have good reason to think that someone messed up because they're stupid, why are you also going to add to that explanation for their mistake that they were being deceitful or had like some bad intention? What is his reasons for why do I think he has reason to think this? Well, I know that he knows of something, he may not know the name, but I know he knows of this principle called Holland's razor. I've heard him say this before. The principle is this: that which could be attributed to malice should be attributed to incompetence or stupidity when both explanations are available.
All right, look, I'm just going to straight up skip this because I don't even know if he's going to say anything worthwhile here. I mean, is he going to change anybody's minds on this at all? So I'm just going to skip ahead here. All right. I think I agree with Andrew. Like Andrew did a good job of demonstrating that, yeah, he had some sinister intentions behind this. You know, I don't think that, like, if he didn't have any bad intentions, he would have just said so. No, this is actually why I did it, and explained himself. But the fact that he really didn't, and he couldn't really think of anything in return to Andrew, like, it's safe to say that he had bad intentions here. Which, I mean, it's self-evident. Like, the video itself is self-evident. Thank you very much, Wi-Fi, for being a member for 3 months. Prompt, Dusty should stop pooping with his pants on. Yeah, that'd be good. And also, thank you very much, Nate, for $2. Like the stream and get the gold completed. Oh, you meant the goal. Yes, let's get this goal completed. We only got 4 more left to complete the super chat goal, guys. Let's do this. And let's skip ahead here.
Whereof I know he knows what Holland's razor is. He may not know the name, but on X.
Mr. Holland's razor?
As he told me something, this is not verbatim, but he said something roughly to the effect of like, oh, well, ask yourself is talented. I'm talented, and you've demonstrated like no eyes on, namely that Andrew thinks, but Occam's rules, you don't know. So in conversationalization, basically what I gave like statistic. I
talk for about attributing to stupidity over malice. You're right. I do say that a lot. Is revenge malicious, Bob?
Yes.
Okay. So then that argument's kind of negated, don't you think? Because the idea here is, why would Andrew ascribe to me pure incompetence if it's the case that, or why would he attribute maliciousness to me when he could just attribute it to incompetence? Well, because you told me it's for revenge, Bob. And said revenge is malicious, Bob. And so there's good reason for me to believe that it's not due to incompetence, but due to you being malicious, Bob. Do you see what I'm saying? And then, hang on,
that's a
there's
good point.
more.
That's a good
There's
point.
more. As you go through this, you also made another claim here, which is kind of ridiculous. You said, well, thing is that, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. How's it going, Paige? So wait, Sarah's talked shit about you before? Yeah, I talked about it earlier. In last night's stream, at the end of Sarah's stream last night, she like went off on you. It's because Marte was reviewing your debate against Kel. And so then she saw that and was like, oh, basically she doubled down on her biased moderating, and then she just went off on you, like saying all this stuff. So yeah, just letting you know.
It's a hit piece. Yeah, the hit piece is based on me wanting revenge. That's what it's for, right? And then you go on to say, but wait a second, Andrew, right? You actually have motivation, just like I do. Yeah, I have motivation to defend myself, so not motivation to attack. So let's think of it this way. I'm walking down the street and you attack me. Do I have as much motivation to attack you as you do me?
I gave this answer a lot, but it depends.
I mean, probably not, though, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be difficult. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. But do I have powerful motivation to defend myself?
Yeah.
So if we're looking at the two claims here, the person defending themselves from the person who's attacking, right? Then it does seem like you should be able to attribute to my motivation defense. After all, I never came after you, Bob. You came after me. I didn't even know who you were. Didn't care, right? It's none of my business, none of my concern, right? So clearly my motivation makes sense. But you making the claim, well, how could this guy possibly attribute this to malice over incompetence, even if he thinks I'm incompetent? Well, because you told me, Bob. You told me it was malicious.
Fair. So I have two responses. I think that's a decent point. But I do have two responses to it. The first is that, and I was very cognizant of this fact, you accused me of lying before you had any interaction with me. So you didn't know. Well, it may be true. My intention was malice. You didn't know that when you initially made the accusation, and I kept track of this. The first thing you said.
Oh, wait, how can Andrew not know that? Like, why? What other motivation? Like, okay, it could be malice or it could be clout. Those are the only two options you would have made that video for. Or maybe someone paid you to make it. Like, but the most likely reasons are malice and clout.
Said to me after I harassed you to look at my video was
harassed you to look at my video.
It was like half decent. I understood your criticisms. Besides for the part where you lied. And you made that claim prior to any interaction with me.
Mm-hmm.
You see the problem?
No, there's no problem.
If your basis for thinking
was that you tagged me in a video that you said was going to destroy me, Bob. I had every reason in the world to believe it was malicious.
Okay, so he tagged Andrew in a video, said, I'm going to destroy you. Okay, well then, yeah, that's pretty malicious. I mean, what other, there's no doubt about it. I mean, how would you assume otherwise? Thank you very much, Mr. B, for the $2. This doofus admitted he was a liar. Why keep going? Yeah, exactly. And also, thank you very much, James, for the $5. Hey, chat and Cool Vic. Hope everyone's well. Been busy with work, so I can't chat much, but wanted to say hail victors. Thank you very much, James. Very much appreciate it. And lastly, thank you very much, Wi-Fi, for the $2. You wipe after you poop, not before you poop, Dusty. Thank you very much, Wi-Fi.
Every good reason in the world when you say, this is going to undo you, this is going to destroy you, this is going to hurt you, to believe that that's malicious, Bob. I have every good reason in the world to believe that. I have never in my life one time had somebody say, I'm going to destroy you, and they meant that in a good way. Not once, Bob. In fact,
yeah,
I can't think.
I'm going to destroy you in a good way.
Like maybe maybe a chick, maybe like some skank or something. She's like, this guy destroyed me, maybe in that context, but like, no, nobody's ever. And like, Andrew, I'm going to fucking destroy you. And they mean good things by that. And their motivation for wanting to
Yeah.
destroy me
I'm not making the claim
is
that
not good usually, Bob. It's usually
Right.
real bad. And then when I see that you selectively cut out critical context, which would change these
I don't
claims
think so.
around, it's very clear to me that it's done in a malicious sense. And then I just get it affirmed tonight when you say, well, I want revenge. I want revenge.
Right, but
Vengeance is
prior-
mine, so saith the Bob.
right, but prior to me, before you ever heard me say that, you made an assumption that I was.
Yeah, I
saying that.
had it's an assumption, but it's not based on reason. It's not that it's an assumption that isn't based on reason. I had reasonable or I had good reasons to have that assumption. Chief of which is Andrew, this is going to destroy Andrew Wilson. It's a pretty good assumption that you
Bobby knows he's cooked. Like, how does he not know? I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good assumption there. You had no idea I had malicious intentions behind this video. I just tagged you in this post that said I'm going to destroy you, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean that I have bad intentions. I could destroy you in a good way. Thank you very much, Shantae, for the $4.99 goal. Thank you very much, Shantae. And thank you very much, everybody who has donated and for completing that first super chat goal. Gonna reset it right now.
don't mean good things for me, Bob, that your motivations, right, are probably not the best. They're probably pretty malicious. They're probably not based on good things for me, right, Bob?
You think if someone says, I'm going to destroy you, you could infer that they're so malicious as to make them suspect of lying? You think just saying.
Yes, Bob, I do.
Oh, interesting. Andrew, you said in our chat on X, you're going to destroy me in this debate. You said that.
Yeah, Bob, I'm not here to be nice. My motivation now is towards you, malicious. That
Even though Andrew is actually being pretty nice. Like, he's being pretty nice, actually.
it has to be. Unfortunately, when I defend myself, when I defend myself,
wait, no, let's be consistent.
I'm being consistent.
Okay,
If I'm defending myself, I'm
now your internal. Look, I don't think malice is sufficient grounds to conclude that someone's lying, but you think that. So now you just provided the audience with reason, and anyone who buys your argument with reason to doubt everything you're saying now.
What did I provide?
Anyone
that when I defend myself, I'll be malicious? Sure.
If you buy the reason, if you buy the inference that from malice we can infer someone's lying, or it's like very plausible, well then, why should I trust anything you said in this debate? If you
you see, Bob, we have to go back to the Bob defense. Let's go back to the start of all this.
Before we get to the Bob defense, thank you very much for Reverse Massage for $4.99. Why did Dusty let his son Bobby make a hit piece on Andrew anyway? Yeah, I know, right? Dusty should have told his son, no, stay out of this. Stay out of this. You're going to get destroyed. Thank you very much, Reverse Massage. Very much appreciated. Thank you for starting the new super chat goal.
I have any maliciousness towards you?
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, I will, but we can just go through an inference here, right? So the inference is Bob attacks Andrew, right? There's malice here, right? There's malice.
I need a pee. Give me one. I'll be back in like 20 seconds.
Probably gonna sit down. Now we just play the waiting game. Like how it's just silence. Awkward. I mean, the kids drink so many freaking Red Bulls.
Haters all like this, bro. Why are they all fucking internet autist fucking lunatics? Why?
Yeah, that's true though. That's a good question. That's what I was just saying earlier. I was like, why are they like this? Why are they all on meds? Why are they down Red Bulls like it's water?
Why? What do you mean he's a little kid? He's 22 fucking years old. How is he a little kid? He's 22. Will they fucking infantilize these adults? These fucking adults? He's 22 fucking years old. Guy could have been in the fucking army for 4 years already. Like, what do you fucking mean? He's a little kid.
The closest that kid is getting to the army is the little army figurines, playing with those.
How's he a child? He's 20 fucking 2. He's 22.
Nah, Bob's big enough and ugly enough to handle his business for sure. 22's old enough.
Jake. All right, let's read the super chat real quick. Bandit for $5. This kid isn't smart enough to know that you capitalize proper names, finish grade school before you debate people with lived experience, Bobby. Yes, exactly. He can't even be called Bob. I think he should just stay at Bobby for a bit. He looks like a Bobby. Bobby. Thank you very much, Bandit.
Anyway, Bob.
Wow, and immediately
I
back
think it
to the Red Bull.
demonstrated that you attacked me with maliciousness and that your motivation was revenge. So, yeah.
Okay. Consistency check.
Mhm.
Should the audience now think that every claim you made tonight there's a plausible presumption in favor of your claims being dishonest? Should the
No.
audience think that? No?
Not for me, but I'm the person defending, not the person attacking. My motivation only here is to defend myself from your ridiculous claims. Your motivation was actually to destroy me by your own admission.
And your admission.
To destroy you in a debate, not destroy you, Bob. I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here to defend myself from your claims. You said you were here to fucking destroy me. You made this to destroy me. This video will destroy Andrew Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference there, Bob.
Jeez, this kid and this Red
And
Bull.
you said you'd destroy me in this debate, did you not?
Yeah. Yep. The best way to destroy you in this debate is by being completely honest. That's the best way to do it.
But you said you were going to destroy me. And you said that saying you're going to destroy someone is reason to think they're lying. Really?
To destroy somebody, right? Not to destroy somebody in a debate.
That doesn't sound like a relevant distinction at all.
How is it not a relevant distinction? I'm going to destroy you in this game of chess. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to destroy your life. You don't see a degree of maliciousness difference there, Bob? You don't see one? You don't see it as being relevant? I'm going to destroy you in this game of checkers. I'm going to destroy you at this video game. I'm going to destroy your fucking life. You don't see a degree of
I never
difference
said I was going
there.
to destroy your life. I didn't say that.
I'm going to destroy you.
Intellectually.
No, that's not what you said, Bob.
Intellectually.
What did you think I meant?
Ah, I see. So I should be charitable to what it is that you meant. I'll do that, Bob. Can you agree to be charitable to what I meant?
When?
In that clip I played, when I gave you the context for it and told you exactly what I meant and then demonstrated it for everybody.
Oh, yeah. If you want to make the claim I was uncharitable, I wasn't. I agree. I was not charitable. I agree.
So you're not charitable. I need to be charitable with you, though.
I'm not saying that.
But I should be.
I don't think I said that. I don't think I committed myself to that position.
Oh, okay. But do you want me to be?
Sure.
Okay. I'd like that too, Bob. Just in the future, maybe you could be charitable towards me.
Okay.
And by the way, can I ask you, since we've beaten this dead horse, right, over and over and over again, can we move on to the hypocrisy counter 2 with Dean and Parker? Can we do that now?
I didn't study for that. Oh, look at him. He's closing his eyes. He's like, yes, I guess. He's seething so much.
After we clarify why it is that when I say I'm going to destroy you, you think that that's grounds for thinking I'm a liar. But when you say it, oh, it's totally fine.
No, that's not the only grounds that I had. I had that, plus I had your dishonest edits. That changed the context completely. So I had evidence, right, that you were doing something that I had every reason to believe you knew was incorrect, and then combined that with your motivation, which you've now admitted was revenge.
But the audience could see this, and it's going to be on YouTube, I assume. I'm going to say like 5 minutes ago. I don't remember exactly when, but skip back. You'll see that you said, and I made sure you confirm this so I could get you in this trap. I asked you.
There's no trap.
Trap. Yeah. Trap.
Maybe you're not aware of it.
No, there just isn't any trap.
Bob playing that 5D chess. You're just not aware of my tricks, Andrew. I have you in a trap. Oh.
Okay, well, the trap I think you're in is I asked you.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, if someone says they're going to destroy someone, is that like good grounds for thinking that they're malicious and you can't trust them? And you're like, yeah, that's great grounds. You're like, never in my life has someone who said, I'm going to destroy you had good intentions. Usually it's malicious.
Bob,
Mhm.
if somebody says they're going to destroy you at Mario Kart, is that different than somebody saying they're going to destroy you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So if I'm going to destroy you in a debate, is that different than saying I'm going to destroy you?
It depends what the person meant by I'm going to destroy you.
Dude.
Right. And I meant intellectually. I was quite.
It's not even that this kid is just drinking Red Bulls. He like freaking downing it every gulp he gets. Like every chance he gets, just downing good amount of Red Bull. Thank you very much, Tampa Afro, for $1.99. Good times, Vic. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I will.
Obvious.
So I should be, again, charitable to your view.
It's not about charitable. It's about what I plausibly meant.
What you plausibly meant.
Right.
So in that clip, could I have plausibly meant what I said?
What do you mean meant what you said?
When I told you that I was telling this chick, hey, no, and then went off on the actual criticisms that I was talking about.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Whenever he gets proved wrong at a point, he like gets a chug. Cope chugs. He's taking some cope chugs in there.
Not that I've never been mean to women. Isn't that
right
plausible?
Now that's not relevant though. That's
but is it plausible?
That's a red herring. I'm interrogating you.
How? What do you mean? It's not like anybody's turn for interrogation. We're having a debate, right? So the thing is like, I'm asking you, is that plausible?
This seems like a distraction. I want to
How
know.
is it a distraction?
It's a red herring. I learned that term, red herring. He sounds like from Fred from A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Remember at the end of every episode, he's like, I know who did it. It's red herring. I don't know. Probably a lot of people probably don't remember that show. But the ones that do, you'll get it. And you guys are the real ones.
And it's completely relevant.
It's a distraction because I stated that before we move on, what I want to nail down is why it is that when I say I'm going to destroy you, that's grounds for thinking.
Because absent context, when I have a hit piece video and see you take things out of context, it looks like you want really bad things for me. For me. I want bad things for you in this debate, not bad things for you, Bob. I want you to go off and have a merry life. I want you to go off and marry and have tons of kids and make $1 billion fucking dollars, Bob. That's a big difference.
No. I'm not talking about Scrappy Doo. I'm talking about there was a show. It was a kid version of Scooby-Doo where there were all kids, and it was called A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. And so it's like Scooby-Doo was a puppy and the gang were all kids. And at the end of every episode, Fred would be like, I know who did the crime. It's Red Herring. Because there's a character named Red Herring. And that was like a running gag on the show. Every episode, Fred would be like, it's Red Herring. And then you would unveil it and it was like someone else.
It's between, I want bad things for you and I don't want you to win this debate. The big fucking difference.
Bad things for you. Never said.
No. But if he's saying destroy bad things, that means bad things for you. I want to destroy you. That means bad things for you. Yes, it does, Bob. That was the context I gave you. I've never heard anybody say I'm going to fucking destroy you. And they meant good things are coming your way.
Oh, I definitely didn't mean good things are coming your way. But I didn't, neither did I
bad thing.
I want bad things to come.
Well, I don't know, Bob. How the fuck should I know what you mean? All I know is you said, I'm going to destroy you. This video is going to destroy you. This video is going to take you down. This video is going to do this. It's going to do that. It's going to do all sorts of bad things to you.
Right.
That's what you said, Bob. And then I had the video itself. And then I got your motivation of revenge, right? It looks like I got pretty clear motive. Your internal critique of me is me saying, yeah, I'm going to destroy you in a debate. That's a huge difference, Bob. Huge.
All right, fellas, I think that it's probably about time to move this debate on.
Shake's like, I don't give a shit about this anymore. Just got here, Vic. Did you cover Brian Shapiro cope over the internal bleeding? Have a great show. No, actually, I haven't, but that's quite an idea. Maybe I'll cover it on tomorrow's stream. Maybe I'll cover it tomorrow. Who knows? But thanks for letting me know that.
We have really taken this one to its fullest extent, I'd say. So what is the next topic that we wanted to go to?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up this hypocrisy here. Give me a second before you share screen, please. I'll tell you when. Go ahead. Share screen. Okay, so this is Bob's second critique. right? From Andrew's supposed hypocrisy counter.
I have two gaytheists on the panel that have said that I've
Ah.
bullied
Like this
them.
kind of
and
behavior.
Two gaytheists. That's where the gaytheists was coined, or at least made popular.
Look at this behavior.
yeah, that's called a joke. That's called a joke,
Yeah,
sensitive
they're
man.
funny, J Dyer.
Oh my
It's a-
God. That was funny, by the way.
Homophobic
This
joke.
behavior. Okay, does not care about offending others. You see this? This behavior is
This-
out
Well,
of
you
control.
are two gaytheists.
It's too much
it's
fun.
pretty
Bad
good.
behavior.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Sure.
You think white people?
Okay, there we go. So he's saying
This is a hit piece. This to me would be promoting Andrew. That was hilarious.
Andrew doesn't care about offending others. Stop share, please. I can't debate with him if he's not in the chair. You want to stop sharing the screen real quick? Okay.
Oh,
So then he
opening up
goes
his other
on
Red Bull.
To put this up. He goes on to put up this exchange. Go ahead and pull it up. Okay, so he's saying this is the hypocrisy because I don't care about offending others, but I care about being offended myself.
Us blaspheming the Holy Spirit, they get really angry with.
And you don't
right,
seem to
under their
care about doing
perspective.
that, do
And
you?
they're
Gets all indignant about his feelings. Again, he cuts out critical context.
Against Andrew over
Against
things he
Christians.
cares very
They
passionately
just
about
are.
religion. It is to him.
They just
Hang on,
redefine
it's
It is
not-
to
it's
him.
not anything.
A slur was
Parker,
not defended.
Parker.
What if
What's really interesting about this clip, and you can stop sharing screen, is that even Piers Morgan got it, Jake. Even Piers Morgan got it. So what was happening here was I was pointing out to them, hey guys, right? You have no problem being hypercritical of Christians at all, but it is the case that you get big mad when people make jokes about X, Y, and Z. Piers Morgan caught it immediately and said, yeah, what about that? That seems like it's kind of a contradiction. This had nothing to do with me being indignant about anything. This was me running an internal critique and showing how they're committing a fallacy. They're committing a hypocrisy, essentially. They're saying what you're doing, right? Well, I guess it's not as much hypocrisy even, but maybe it is.
Bobby's already knowing that he's being proven wrong right now. He's rolling his eyes.
We'll just
It
go
is.
with
No, I think I
hypocrisy.
saw the
Yeah,
clip.
we'll just go with hypocrisy.
It's hypocrisy.
But you attributed this hypocrisy to me. How could this be hypocrisy from me when I'm pointing out, wait a second.
This is like great. Like he's walking him through the hit piece video and proving Bobby wrong. Like, man, Bobby just played himself throughout this whole thing. He just played himself. He made this video thinking, yeah, this is going to destroy Andrew. He's going to fall into my trap. Little did he know Andrew would take him up on his debate offer and completely just make a jackass out of him
Doesn't offend me.
with his own video.
You attack Christians, I'm not offended. I'm just pointing out that it's absurd that you would say that if you make a racial joke on stage or something like this, you get all butthurt, but then have no problem assaulting the values of somebody. Like you don't care about that at all, as long as they're Christians. That's me pointing out their hypocrisy. Can you explain to me how this was me being hypocritical?
Right. So them being hypocritical and you pointing out that they're being hypocritical, which I agree with. I saw the full clip. I thought they were being hypocritical for sure. And actually, not that this is relevant. I just feel like saying it. When you pointed out that they were being hypocritical, I recall from the clip, they actually like committed a shift in goalposts. You're like, you're being hypocritical. And they were like, well, it's not a slur to make fun of Christians. And you rightfully pointed out, you're like, doesn't matter if it's not a slur.
So how's that attributed as a hypocrisy count for me?
Yeah, exactly. Where's the Dean and Parker hit piece, huh, Bobby? Huh? That boy ain't right.
I'll explain. You calling them hypocritical and them being hypocritical is perfectly compatible. It's not mutually exclusive with you also being a hypocrite. So I think both of you guys are being
Yeah, but
hypocritical.
how was
Both sides.
I being hypocritical in this
Here's how.
clip?
Here's how.
Okay.
You were clearly, I think to that most people, it would be clear that you didn't care to offend them. Would you agree to that?
What?
What? Yeah.
I'm starting off with this first premise. When they were offended, you didn't give a shit. You thought it was amusing. Would you agree?
I don't know if I thought it was necessarily amusing. I thought that mocking the faux moral outrage, meaning I don't think they were offended, one. And two, I think it was faux outrage, meaning they didn't actually even, they weren't even really outraged. They're just pretending to be outraged.
Holy cow. I think this kid goes through Red Bulls more than Andrew does cigarettes.
What you didn't
Red Bull kid bad.
care that they were offended though?
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the context there. The context there was I didn't believe they were offended.
If they were, would you have cared?
Perhaps not. I don't know, but it would depend on the context then and whatever that situation was. Perhaps, depending on what it was. Like, it's not my mission in life to offend people for the sake of offending them because I find it amusing. There could be times when I offend people and it is amusing, but my purpose in life.
His heart's a ticking time bomb. Yeah, seriously, it really is. How is this kid's heart not exploded?
Life is not to offend for the purpose of amusement.
So I'm not making the claim that it's your purpose in life, but in that context,
Mm-hmm.
the thing I have in mind where you were clearly insensitive is Jay Dyer made this lame joke about gay theists.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny said, look at this behavior. This is ridiculous. And you mockingly repeated back to Danny in like this weird voice, oh, look at this behavior. Look at this behavior.
Yeah, that's faux outrage because I believe it was faux outrage from Danny.
Yeah, absolutely 100% faux outrage. But what's not faux is this $100 from Gizmo the Fisherman. Thank you very much, brother. Hell yeah. For the cool verse. Damn. The portal is going to be well maintenance now. I could probably get another portal built. Thank you very much, Gizmo. Very much appreciated. Legend right here. I think I'm going to pull a Sarah and cry. Thank you very much.
Like, I don't think Danny cares that much, honestly.
Why on earth would you think that?
Because I've talked with Danny and he's got way thicker skin than he lets on. And I've talked with Danny multiple times before this. Well, yeah, I mean, Parker told me that he'd never even called a friend of his, like, shut up, gay, or whatever. Even in privacy, he's never used that language. And yeah, of course, I don't believe that. Like, and the reason I don't believe that is because, like, guys like Dean and other guys, they've had DMs come out where they clearly use that language within these groups. Like, I have every reason to believe that they do.
I think we could both agree Parker's a wimp. Parker does not have thick skin. You think he has thick skin?
I didn't say Parker has thick skin.
You think he's
Danny has thick skin. But the point is like, let's just, for the sake of the critique, grant it. Sure, I don't care.
So my point is, it seems like when they were offended. Now you want to say you don't believe they were offended, but I'm not sure about that, to be honest. But let's grant it. They were offended. You didn't care. We're granting.
You think that, like, Parker, when he's like, that had him actually being offended, really?
I think Parker's offended by slurs. I think he is.
Okay, whatever. So anyway.
Yeah, really, that offended, though, where he's like, oh, like, seriously, like, doing the gasp. Like, come on, dude. That was overreacting for the camera to really, like, oh, look at the terrible things that these right-wingers, these conservatives are saying. Like, oh my gosh. Like, we all know he was playing it up for the camera. Bob just being disingenuous, or he's just an idiot and he doesn't recognize when these people are just pretending to be offended. Thank you very much, Bandit, for the $2. What is the cocaine to Red Bull exchange ratio? That's actually a good question. That's a good question. Thank you very much, Bandit. Very much appreciated.
Okay,
so
the thing is like, what's the hypocrisy, though? Let's get to that. Let's just get to it.
So in order to establish hypocrisy, we have to first get you disregarding a certain precedent. That's how I was honing in on this. So you disregarded, and you granted this at least now, that you disregarded them being offended, right? So if you don't have a regard for them being offended, but then when someone blasphemes the Holy Spirit or makes fun of Christianity or whatever, and you say, hey, you can't do that, that's like violating my boundaries. Well, that's hypocritical because you're telling people not to violate your boundaries, but then you go ahead and violate theirs.
Wait a second. Hang on, let's back up. So let me make sure I got this right. Pointing out to them that they have no problem whatsoever attacking Christians, and then me utilizing that as a point, right? Me saying, hey, look, you have no problem attacking Christians at all. And then over here, you'll get all sorts of upset when there's a slur going on here. You agree that that's hypocrisy, right?
No.
You don't agree that that's... That's them being hypocritical.
Oh, that's yeah, they're being hypocritical. Yeah.
Yeah, that's them being hypocritical. Right.
Yeah.
What point there did I look even the slightest bit offended that they were attacking the Holy Spirit or any of that?
At that point, I didn't make the claim. At that point, you were offended.
When? When was I offended anywhere in this video?
Right. You said, and this is almost verbatim, you had said, whatever offends is the slur. Then Parker went on to say, well, you have to be offended to a certain threshold for me to care. And he responded, well, it meets my threshold.
Yeah, that's an internal critique, though.
And in order to launch that critique, you had to get off the ground that you were, like, in order for the internal critique to get off the ground, you had to grant that you were offended to a sufficient degree.
In order to do an internal critique, I don't have to assume the position is true. Just assume the position for the purpose of the critique.
Well, if you didn't,
Yeah, you know what's crazy is like I remember like I would drink like, you know, like at most I'll drink one energy drink a day, but like sometimes I would have two, and I remember thinking like, man, this is too much. I can't be drinking this much fucking energy drinks. This kid I drink is like drinking 4 so far? Freaking he was even double fisting Celsiuses and Red Bulls. Like, dude, this guy Bobby is insane.
So, like, if you say, if someone, let me give you an example. That this is easy.
Oh,
stuff,
there he goes
by the way. It's
again.
basic philosophy.
You know, he had a hypocrisy counter for Andrew. We should actually start a Red Bull counter, a Coke chug counter every time he chugs one of those.
If it's the case that I assume a position for the purpose of giving a criticism, that doesn't mean that I believe the position, dude.
Holy
That's
shit.
ridiculous. That's
I know
ridiculous.
that.
This guy's an animal.
Yeah, so what are you talking about? At what point here, when I'm launching the
And that's what is he?
internal critique,
Did he just open up another one?
did I say anything about
And as someone pointed out earlier, those are like the big cans. They're not the little cans. Bobby, I think you got a problem there, bud. I think you need to seek help. Is there any meetings you could go to for caffeine addiction?
being offended by anything they say?
Because some internal critiques are only going to work if you stipulate certain premises.
Yeah,
So-
I stipulated the premise that you have no problem attacking Christians, right? So if I'm offended right now, you don't care, but I'm supposed to care that you're offended. That's the whole criticism.
Right. So it wouldn't be a criticism unless you really were offended.
No, you don't really have to be offended in order to assume the position. If I was offended, you wouldn't care.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it was a conditional if I was. But in that instance, in the instance at hand with you and Parker, if the claim was that you were not offended in that context,
Yeah.
then your internal critique is not going to get off the ground.
Yes, it's still off the ground because the conditional is present. You have no problem if you find this thing offensive. If I say I'm offended by this, you don't care, but I'm supposed to care that you're offended by this. So the criticism stands fine, just fine. No issues with it at all. I don't even have to assume the position that I'm offended by it.
Well, it didn't seem like that's what you were doing. You guys, it didn't seem like you were saying, well, hypothetically, you were making the claim they were actually hypocritical, not hypothetically hypocritical, right?
They are actually hypocritical
Yeah.
You don't get
because they were actually attacking Christians. In actuality, that has no basis on whether or not it offends me or not. People attack Christians all day long, and when I'm in debates with them, they attack Christianity all day long. I haven't found that offensive in years. In years.
right. But in order for them to actually be hypocritical, you can't resort to a hypothetical or a conditional. It has to be actual, right?
No, it doesn't. That's bullshit. What are you talking about? That literally makes no sense. That's not even a position. That's incoherent on its face, dude. Why would I need in actuality to be offended to point out that they were attempting to be offensive?
Yeah.
That's
You're
not what
attempting to be offensive towards group A, but get mad.
But also too, like, even if Andrew wasn't offended himself, this was done in public on Piers Morgan's Piers Morgan's show that's watched by like thousands of people. So even if Andrew himself wasn't offended, there's going to be people watching Piers that are going to be offended So yes, it is hypocritical of them to be like, you can't say this about these people, but we could say what we want about Christians, because there could be Christians in the audience that are offended. You know, if Andrew calls them gaytheists, and even if they are not personally offended by gaytheists, who knows if there aren't some gay people in the audience or gaytheists in the audience that would be offended by that. So it actually is irrelevant whether or not Andrew was offended by it or not.
When there's offense towards group B, that why would I need to in any way, shape, or form to personally be offended by what they're saying? Why?
First,
No, answer my question, and then you can ask me
what
one.
exactly is your question?
My question is, why would I personally need to be offended if you're trying to be offensive? To point out you're trying to be offensive, but don't care if this group over here is offended. Or you care if this group is offended, but don't care that this group is offended that you're trying to offend. Why would that require me to actually be offended by that?
Exactly.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And that's that.
It's not, because that's not what happened.
Oh boy. Appeal to oh boy. Oh boy. I don't think Bobby's going to get it here. But let's all pray for him that his heart doesn't just explode one of these days. Because, I mean, with the amount of Red Bulls this kid drinks, I'm thinking it might be any day now. You know, I don't know what's going on with him, but he definitely needs some help. Great on Andrew. This was actually absolutely entertaining to watch. It's great when they try to make these hit pieces on him, and then Andrew confronts them and actually walks them through the hit piece and explains to them why they're full of shit and why it's just nothing but jackassery. So, yeah, what did you guys think? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I don't make the rules. And see the full video in a link in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the cool stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel. And make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.